Ahoy mateys! And welcome to an ARK video where we will explore the 7 seas of the Crystal Isles, or just this one right here, where we will build on a motorboat. I'm using the one mod to rule them all, CKFR. With it, there's some extra special ways that we can build a pirate ship. Before doing that, a fair warning. If you're not subscribed by the end of this video, I'll make you walk the plank. Anyways, the thing about CKFR when building on motorboats is that you can actually build on a bigger area. And that is how this ship got so big and glorious. And for whatever reason, you can build on an even bigger area when using triangle foundations, because they give support to a bigger area than the square ones for some reason. I don't know why, but it's very useful to know. Smash like if you like useful things. Anyways, another reason for the superiority of CKFR is these half-sloped walls here that are pointing upwards that I'm putting at the end of the ship. They are really useful to making things look amazing, and vanilla ARK doesn't have them. Wildcard, you should definitely add those to ARK. For the lower parts of the boat, I'm using roof pieces. The fact that the boat is twerking like there's no tomorrow doesn't exactly make this easier, but with a little bit of trial and error, it works out in the end. So now that we have mapped out the lower parts of the width, I'm gonna build the higher parts as well. What will eventually be the captain's quarters all the way back here, I wanted to stick out a little bit here. I had to make sort of a halfway out thing here that I'm doing with these pillars, because ceilings couldn't go any further out than I already had them. So from the ceilings that I have here and to the very top, there will sort of be 3.5 blocks all the way to the top. 4 blocks counting with the railing. Boats are a lot of fun to make in games like this, and part of the fun is the challenge, because in these games we have 45-degree angles and 90-degree angles. It's not really meant for building fabulous boats like this, but using what the game has to offer and what modders have to offer, we're able to build things that really break the boundaries of what the games start off with. I'll tell you a little bit more about this mod, by the way, CKFR. Also known as Castles, Keeps, Forts, Medieval Architecture Remastered. This is the second version of CKF. In this mod you can build fabulous castles, but I'm not using any of the castle pieces in this build here. I'm using the building set called Villager, which is one of the 3 sets that Castle, Keeps and Forts Medieval Architecture has to offer. I have built a lot of amazing builds with the castle set from the mod. You should definitely check some of those builds out. But in this video I wanted to make a boat. I'd made a pirate ship with vanilla building pieces earlier in this game. The link to that video will be in the description if you want to check it out. I don't think it was as glorious as this one turned out, but it was also more of a challenge to make something look like an awesome ship in vanilla structures. Because vanilla structures are lacking in a lot of ways. Especially because it was possible to build bigger with CKFR. And the upside down sloped halfway walls. Wildcard. add to vanilla. Please. Of course, what is a ship without a sail? Or 3? Sails are quite challenging when building this, because ARK of course doesn't really have a really nice sail block. On the front sail, what I did was I just used some triangle ceilings in order to make a little bit of a small angle to the sail, which would be made with adobe blocks. And then with a fancy trick that I didn't really understand how I made it work, I used a mix of catwalk and fence foundation to be able to remove some of these ceilings. It ended up looking like the front sail was waving a little bit in the wind, which I really liked. For the other sails, I used catwalks because they look really nice on sails. They're pretty thin. The problem with them is that they don't go as far out as the CKF blocks does. Because like I was saying earlier, they're vanilla, they don't go as far out, which is why you can make much bigger with CKF. That is why at the edge I had triangle ceilings, to make the sail wide enough. I wanted the sails to be a little bit wider than the catwalks were able to do, so I had some triangle ceilings at the edge there. There was another problem that arose there that you can see, that one of the catwalks actually doesn't go out far enough. And even though I put a bunch of extra foundations under the ship to make sure I had all the support that I needed, it wasn't good enough. But then I remembered that the triangle ceilings actually makes it carry further, and now there's actual proof of that. See, now I was suddenly able to do the thing that I was trying here, that the one that I couldn't fit here, for whatever reason, I could now fit. Now it is time to place the sails, and I'm just carefully placing them where I want them-ish, on a half circle, or whatever this shape is called. I'm placing a lot of these sails, and also a couple of them on top. I'm also placing a couple extra rows of these flags here, so that the sail will be bigger and look more like a pirate ship. The sail was definitely really hard to make, and I didn't expect a result that I would be super happy with. Just something that will be kind of tolerable, look like a sail, make you feel like, yeah, I kinda see what you were going for here. The fact that I felt like this actually looks good and didn't just look like it could be interpreted as a sail, I was pretty happy with. It's of course not perfect, especially because of those triangles that I had to have on the sides. They look a little bit off, but I couldn't really think of any other solution of doing this, and I don't really think they're that much of a problem. The fact that they're adding more space to place sails on is more important, that they look a little bit funny. I would also eventually replace them with some blocks that I felt like fit better with the sail and were a little bit more invisible. I also ended up painting those white in the end, so that they will be the same color and not stick out too much. What will of course stick out is the plank here that you will walk if you're not subscribed. Just saying. Just kidding, of course. Don't worry, I would never do that to you. I promise. I was a little bit unsure which color to paint this in, so I tried at first with the black coloring. I didn't really like the yellowing. Also, I just tried with grey sails, which I wasn't really feeling, so I changed it back to white. What I really ended up liking was a mix of red and black, where I would have red enabled on region 5 and black enabled on region 6. And that is how this glorious color combination was born. I wanted the railings to be very highlighted, so that they would be super visible. So I tried out with a couple of different yellow ones, but ended up with the yellowest yellow of the yellowest of them all. So I painted that and the captain's window with that, and I think that turned out really cool. It looks like it's sort of almost like a gold railing. Point being that it will be highlighted. One more thing that I did was that I changed the tiles here by clicking on each of them with this gun 7 times. That is one of the things that you can do with CKF, that you can change the design of these things. I liked a lot better the one that I ended up with because it had less of the lines, and that felt better with the build. And then of course there is the interior. This one ceiling right here was misbehaving quite a lot, but I had an amazing solution for that ceiling. And that was to, instead of trying to actually get it to snap correctly, I'd just have a stair there instead. Super clever 200 IQ solution. Another 200 IQ solution was to have the captain's quarter where I planned on having the captain's quarter. On the back here would be a little bedroom area, and in the front here there would be a tavern with eating area and that sort of stuff. This big room here would be used for cannons, so that we can shoot misbehaving enemies, people that leave nasty comments, that sort of thing. If you have watched this far without skipping, I'd like to tell you, you are awesome. If you did skip towards the end, however, hello! How's it going? Don't forget to subscribe. This video is sponsored by G-Portal. Get 5% off G-Portal service by clicking the link in the description. If you did skip to this part, you are still awesome. Everybody is awesome. Let's all bask in our awesomeness together. Like this video, if you are awesome. Subscribe to the channel, if you're awesome. Leave a comment, if you're awesome. This will be the dining area and the kitchen area. This is the cannon room. Up here and in this door is the captain's quarters. Unfortunately, the game would only let me place interior on one of the sides, so I didn't really get to decorate that. I really like how the ship looks like at night, after I put some torches out. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, stay and watch some more and subscribe to the channel. There will be some other suggestions for videos to watch on the screen right now. Otherwise, have a glorious day and I'll see you some other time.